And we are on. So hello, everybody who are joining us, no matter where you are from, Italy, Latvia, Baltics, Ukraine, Turkey, you're all welcome. It's Startup Wise Guys here with an exciting new event. We have here Giovanni and Ilaria, and they will talk about this awesome journey through our program, and then Ilaria will introduce more about her own startup and her own ideas. So they will be at your service. They want your questions and everything. So a couple of ground rules before I give the word to Giovanni for all the introductions and everything. Write your questions in the comments section. We see them coming in and we want to read them and we want to answer them. So don't be afraid, don't hesitate to ask them. Just ask and we are here to answer. And yeah, that's it from my side. I'm hiding myself. Giovanni, giving the floor to you for the introductions and
Thank you.
Else.
Thank you, Louisa. Thank you, Louisa. So hello, everyone. Thank you again for coming in and spending this nice 60 minutes with us to learn more about how to build a SaaS model. So I'm going to give a quick intro about myself so you know who I am, and then I'm going to leave the floor to Ilaria so she can quickly introduce herself. But let's keep this, I'm going to keep this conversational. So feel free to ask questions as we move along. So don't wait till the end. If you have any question that is relevant to the topic that we're talking, please jump in, and so we keep it engaging and fun. My name is Giovanni Jure. I'm currently the managing director of the SaaS program for Startup Wise Guys in Milano. So my job is to scout for potential founders, interesting founders, and to help them grow their business through our program. Previously, I had experience working with founders in the Middle East and North Africa, and in a big tech conference in the MENA region. So I'm gonna quickly leave the floor to Ilaria so you can introduce yourself, say quick words.
Thank you, Giovanni. Hello everyone, and I'm Ilaria, CEO from Roundabout, and Roundabout is a startup that helps small and medium businesses use the right micro-influencers with no needs of marketing expertise. So basically our platform lets businesses to set up their own influencer campaign based on the budget they can afford and the results they want to get. And is everything fully automated thanks to our algorithm. Our startup is based in Italy and also active in Italy for now. And so basically today we're going to talking about how we switched from a transactional model to a SaaS model during the Wise Guys program, which is an interesting journey.
So thank you, Ilaria. So the goal of this talk today, what you will get out of it before we start, maybe as Ilaria said, if you're in the same situation, maybe you want to transition your business model to a subscription one. So you're in the same phase and you're having struggles, maybe you'll get a couple of hints and tips on how to do that. I think by listening to Ilaria's story, you will also get it kind of inspired about her journey, and maybe it also applies to you. This is one. Two, you will better understand how our programs can help you out. Like specifically, what are the kind of resources that you can rely on during this program to grow your business and find a fit. So without further ado, I would like to ask you, Ilaria, if you can give us a little bit of background, a little bit of history about how you stumbled upon your idea. How did you find the problem actually to build Roundabout? So if you can tell us a little bit more about it.
Yeah, it's a kind of a bit uncommon story because my journey started the very first month at university thanks to a junior enterprise here in Turin, which is a student association built from students who want to learn and practice to run a company, run a business. and you basically learn by doing. And I really learned so much. I've been sales manager, and then marketing manager, then president of the association, also leading a 30 people team. And this got me a job offer as account manager in a digital agency. And here I've been working with small businesses, actually small local businesses who are struggling finding local customers. And we were used to do the classical digital marketing, advertising and tools. And at the same time, I was seeing this micro-influencer trend rising in the market. So this is where the Roundabout idea started shaping in my mind. So I decided to quit the job, get the engineering degree, and start this new challenge with Roundabout. First of all, looking for my co-founder, Antonio, which is a person that I already knew because we are from the same city. And I also knew that he was studying marketing and communication related to events, culture, tourism also. So I also knew basically his values. So I knew that we were on the same mindset and level. So I told him about the idea of Roundabout, and we actually started to test it and validate it in the market, especially in Turin. We started here, and this is where the startup really came up.
How long ago was it, Ilaria?
We started in the middle of 2018, and at the beginning of 2019, we founded the startup, so the business, and we started testing the problem solution fit, so knowing really our customers needs. The whole process, how businesses and micro-influencers can match and interact during the whole process. And at the end, we came up with this algorithm, fully automated, inside, first of all, an app, and then this app began a software, which is what we are now.
You said at some point that you discovered that the micro-influencer market in Italy was on the rise. Can you give us a little bit more info, maybe for the people that are kind of new to this concept?
Yeah, because the influencers marketing started with the big influencers, what are called macro influencers. So all these profiles with more than 500,000 followers, and they are effective, but they basically needs a lot of budget for one single campaign, one single promotion. So it's not really affordable for small or medium businesses. And also the most important points about micro-influencers is that their community is really focused and is really focused on a specific industry and also a specific city. So they can also be used for local promotion. So, for example, for a restaurant or a shop that needs to find potential customers in Turin, Milan, Rome, whatever. So this is also something that really let us think about the possibility to create this kind of match between businesses and micro-influencers.
And Ilaria, so going back, I think when we first met, maybe 7-8 months ago, I think something like that. Times goes by really quickly.
Yeah.
So going back to that point, when we first met, can you talk a little bit about the stage of your business at that time, and what were you looking for when meeting us?
Mm-hmm.
What were you?
Well, we were kind of totally different business. I mean that we tested so much in Italy, mainly in 5 Italian cities. in different industries, mostly focused on the food and beverage, but we also tested the events, travel, lifestyle design, all this kind of industry, in order to really understand as much as possible about our customers and also this kind of market. And we also had traction with these businesses, the initial customers, and also the first community of micro-influencers. But we had all this kind of information about the customers, and we needed to really make sense out of this information inside an effective strategy. So a sales strategy, a marketing strategy, an expansion strategy. We needed really to structure a plan and operation for this. And we also really needed to understand also how to actually get a recurring payment from our other customers, because we started with a transactional model. So basically, businesses buy a 1-month campaign, and we got the 30% of fee from the budget they set up for the month, and the other part of the budget was for micro-influencers. But there were so many businesses that used to buy more than one campaign during the year. So basically, they also ask us for long-term flexible solution. So the possibility to buy more than one campaign, but with the budget they have, with the needs in time during the year. And we were trying to find this kind of solution, basically. And this is where also Wise Guys really helped us, because in December, it was December when we did the sprint. So we came up with this solution in 1 week. Solution tested, validated.
Ilaria, I'm gonna stop you at the sprint a little bit and go a little bit back. I remember that you were kind of, in our initial conversation, you were kind of skeptical about what we were offering you, kind of. Do you remember why? What was your skepticism based on?
Yeah, I mean, because every acceleration program or also mentors talk about the quality of the educational process, the quality of network, the quality of mentors. But this is something that you really can see and understood really after the program, when you say yes. But what really made the difference, so what really let us say yes to join the program, was actually your approach in talking and managing people. I mean, you really understood that behind every healthy and sustainable business, there are people with different talents and different intelligence, and you really work on trying to understand who these people are, how they can shine, and how they can shine, and you really help them to do it and to be entrepreneurs and to scale and make us a really strong business. And this was something that we understood talking each other before joining the program, and it's actually the value that I never saw in any kind of acceleration program or whatever. So this was the main point for us.
I'm happy that you were satisfied and you benefited at the end. And let's move and talk a little bit about the business and the journey. So can you tell us a bit more about the prototype that you built, and what kind of validation did you go through at the beginning?
Mm-hmm. Well, before testing this, the possibility to switch to a subscription model, we had our product was an app. We had only a backend software to manage all these, all the program and customers and the campaigns. So we decided to build a kind of fake prototype using Figma. So it was only about design and graphics, but still useful, because we use this kind of prototype with few of our present customers. So people who already worked with us already knew the quality of micro-influencers and the quality of the process. And the point was about to understand so many information. First of all, if they actually were willing to pay for a subscription. So what is the value that they would be perceived by a subscription model? Because in our situation, we were a bit different between the other kind of software or subscription based model, because we have a software, we have this kind of product, but the other value we provide for all the businesses are micro-influencers. And we really needed to understand that, and also let businesses understand this value. We also needed to understand what will be the changes to the price in order to get out of this value.
How many customers or clients, let's say users, whatever, paying and non-paying, did you have while you were transitioning, roughly?
At the beginning, we had 50 businesses on the platform.
Okay.
So still a small, community of business, but still useful, because with all these businesses we already had campaigns, so we already have a series of information really helpful for us in order to take a decision.
So I'm thinking, how did you show them? How did you communicate with them the value of transitioning? So I'm sure you were worried about losing a couple of them or all of them. So how did you manage to communicate that this new model will bring them more value? What were the tactic that you used?
Well, the most important things were all this information we already had from them, because we knew, for example, that they for their business they need to do advertising into specific months of the year. So they also need to set the budget in a smart way in this sense. But they for sure need to do promotion for more than once in a year. So this is what I mean when I say flexibility in the model. We came up with this kind of solution based on this information, based on what we were able to validate during the sprint, still with them, and it was at the end the right solution.
Okay, so you're mentioning the sprint. Can you tell us a little bit more? What is it, and how was your experience?
It was the first time for us. Also, I mean, I knew about the methodology, but I never, experienced that. But it was so intense because everything was done in 1 week, and everything in that week, was made for that sprint. But all the mentors and also the other startups actually during the program was really helpful because basically we also had one mentor for each specific expertise we needed, and we were able to finish the sprint with a good result.
And you're mentioning the other startups. So I'm a big believer that a big part of the value of joining such programs is your peers, right? Yeah, the other companies that are in the same boat with you. So how did you manage to benefit from their experience and knowledge?
It's funny because they're kind of different kind of mentors. Because there are people in the same situation of yours, because they're trying to understand and make out of a different challenge, but still they have a different perspective, a different methodology, a different, also a bit different situation. So you can really learn in every single task, workshop, or event together, so many things out of it. And this is also something that made a difference for us during the program.
I need to unmute myself. I keep, we always fall for the same trap of talking while we're muted. So Ilaria, I'm gonna go back a little bit to the validation and testing. So so what changed in your communication with your clients, and how did you convince them at the end? Can you like in simple words, how did you do that?
In this process was really helpful. Understand what are all the the classical sales objections that all the businesses made us during the sales process. Because, for example, the classical sales objection was to I don't need to do promotion every single month of the year. So, for example, in this case, we exactly built a solution that allows them to not really do promotion every single month, still with a subscription model, still doing something that is effective for their business and their needs. So really understand the ideal customer profile, all the structure of the sales strategy I told you before, really makes sense out of the entire business and ultimately the solution.
And if I would like to remind the audience, if you have any questions, so please jump in, write anything that you would like to know about Ilaria, about what the program. Feel free to jump in. Don't be shy. So, and Ilaria, how did you communicate with your? So I'm gonna move a little bit from the customer to your team. So I would like to know how things were discussed internally, and were there any objections? Did you agree on the strategy? So how did communication go within your amongst your members?
Well, we were a small team, so it wasn't so difficult, to really take decision. Also because we already had a good internal communication and managing of the job, of the work. And we decided to attend the program, also managing our time. For example, I was the person who joined the program full time, and the other workshop, the other task, everything was divided, related to the work that we needed to do. And it wasn't really a problem to make decision, also because before the program and during the program, everything we learned step by step, everything was discussed for every single step. And we most of the time agreed also about the issues we needed to solve, how we needed to solve, and maybe the most important or most difficult thing we needed to decide was how to manage the time, because we were 3 people doing a lot of things, so it wasn't so easy to manage the time on different kind of tasks and whatever, but we did it.
And since you mentioned that your involvement and time-wise into the program, was it heavy for you? Did you feel that you needed to be there the whole time, and was it useful at the end? Because for some people it might be like some kind of shock that it's kind of intense and there's a big load. What's your opinion on this?
Well, at the very beginning was a bit strange because you really need to dedicate so much time, but it's worth it. I mean, at the beginning, you need to also understand what direction you need to take, you as a person and you as a business. And you also need to manage your team and get direction to your team. And this is not so easy to do. But I mean, also the mentor and also other startups, because this was something shared with other startups. I took support with every single person in the program, which were so many people actually, and this is something that really I've never regret. So,
can we talk a little bit about your pricing strategy?
mm-hmm.
What changed, and how did you work on your pricing?
Mm-hmm. Well, before the program, so when we started the first business model was related to a transactional model, and also we had different prices based on different cities in Italy, because this decision was related to the to how much the market in that specific city was mature enough in order to set a specific budget. But after during the program, and also when we decided to switch to a subscription model, at the same time the market evolved in each single city, and we also needed to get a standard price also for a standard value out of the service. So it was so useful. For example, the support for Jerome in this situation. So one of the mentor experts in that specific issue, that specific subject, and for example, also to understand what kind of points and issues we need to know about the SaaS model, what were the differences between SaaS and transactional, what we needed to consider in order to do not waste users, customers, so in order to start as better as possible the test and also the release of the product.
So in terms of managing your relationship with your investors, which in this case is us, how was it? How was your relationship? What I mean is, were we supportive? How did you keep an open channel with us? How did you manage us and our expectations so you could have the best out of it?
Definitely yes, because it was really a one-to-one relationship and also a daily relationship. But this is something that I wanted and you can offer me. And this is something that I didn't expect, actually. Also for, all the everything it's said about acceleration program, everything we can offer, etc. This is something that we really have during the whole 5 months and also after the program. And it was really about understanding what were the issues, what was our situation before the program, understanding together what should we do, what strategy, what tools, what kind of decisions, why, and everything was supported really day by day during the different decision.
But you said something very important, that this is something that you wanted. So, and I think and I think this is key to making this relationship work, because if you expect to receive the full support, but you, on the other hand, you have some kind of, you don't really share all the problems that you have, or you're not open really about what you're going through. But at the same time, you expect to get the full support or to get all the resources. then we get to a point where the thing doesn't really work out. So I think you started with a very open mindset, and you had the right mindset of keeping this communication open with us. And as you said, on a weekly basis, we were having calls to update each other on the stage. What do you need? What is going well? Also, what is going well and what is going bad? So I think this is a very important point that you mentioned here.
Yeah, exactly.
So Ilaria, overall, if we're going to mention a couple of challenges, of the main challenges that you faced during this transition, during this phase, so what would you say?
The main challenge is about switching to a subscription model.
Of adopting a subscription model for Roundabout.
Well, the first challenge for us was to actually release all the solution we came up with, because we needed time in order to develop and release everything, but also we were attending a program, so we also needed to came up with outputs and results and new metrics. So this was really challenging, managing time basically and results. And the second point, I guess, we were a bit lucky on this one, but the fact that we already had a community, already had customers, so a bit of metrics, and we also have so many information from the customers, and something that was already validated, already invalidated. So we had the possibility to already get a specific direction for the business. So this was really important, and we were a bit lucky on that because we already have it. So I guess these two main points were the biggest challenge.
Ilaria, what kind of advice would you give to people that? So the first part of the question is to people that are in the same transitional phase, same situation in which you were before. So if you want to give a couple of tips to them, what would they be?
Sure. I mean, the first tips I wanted to share is that really make sure to be surrounded by people who make sense of your hard work, because you need to work hard for sure, but being surrounded by people that understand how much you're working and really are able to came up with outputs out of this kind of hard work is really important. And this kind of double relationship, so you can give me support, but I need to be open to receive and also ask for this kind of support, because this is the way you build the network, but also really important relationship for your business and for your person. So these I think are the mainly 2 points and 2 advices that really made the difference for us at the end of the program.
And then the second part of the question would be, so I think we have some people in the audience who are working on their businesses and are interested in applying for funding programs. So in this case, what is your advice to them in order to prepare, so they can better prepare themselves to apply to such a program? Since you've been there, you went through the journey. So.
Mm-hmm. Well, I guess being part of an accelerator program only, for example, to get money or to get the network doesn't really make sense. You need to join an accelerator program because you need really an help on your business from specific specific people and on specific subjects, because you need to work on something during the acceleration program because you need it, not because at a specific point as a startup you need to be part of an acceleration program, because I think this is something common, a common mistake, but really doesn't make sense for the wrong reason.
I'm looking if we're having any questions from the audience at this point. Yeah, so some of the questions are like, why a startup might need an acceleration program? What should a startup consider before joining the program? So I think you answered this question kind of to a certain extent. So I would like to recap a couple of important points that you mentioned here and a couple of advices. So you said that it's important to surround yourself with people that share your passion and your vision, with whom you can connect, and work hard in tough times so they can support you, like in a challenging phase like this one, especially at the beginning where you still have a lot of unvalidated things and a lot of question marks that you need to answer, whether on the market side, on the model side, or on the customer side. So internally, you mentioned that it's very important to keep an open communication with your co-founders, let alone, pick the right co-founders with the right energy and the right passion, and afterwards always keep an open communication with them. With your investors, you also mentioned that communication again is super important. Keeping the channel so you can discuss your challenges and get the best out of it, and build a strong network that can help you move forward along the way. From the customer side, you mentioned that it's important to craft a message that would help your customers understand the value that they're getting out of your solution at any point. And before that, really doing your best to understand the needs of your clients, of your users. So therefore, you will be building in parallel something that it meets their needs. Yeah, so I think if we are not getting any additional questions for Ilaria or for me, I think we can wrap it up. Maybe Ilaria, you wanna before I concluded, you wanna say a final word to people listening to you today?
Well, I mean, I really suggest all the people to take much information about the program. There are so many videos, so many information online about specifically the network, how they work, how they perform. This is really important, and really work hard in order to go on with your journey with your project. I hope it was helpful, this conversation, and
Yeah, so thank you, Ilaria. And so before we conclude, I would like to say that we have applications open for the SaaS program in Milano. So you can go on our website. There's an apply link that will take you to an application, and then you will automatically be into the selection process. This is one. If you have any questions about what we do, about what we can offer, or you just want to have a conversation, I'm really open to that. I can explain to you more about it, because my goal is also to help you understand what we do and how we can create a strong partnership. So you can go on my LinkedIn, send me a message. I'm very responsive, and I'm happy to have a chat. And I think also, Ilaria, if you want to know more about things from her perspective, or if you're interested in Roundabout, if you have any questions about Roundabout, or you want to cooperate in any way, I think she's also open about that. So feel free to reach out to her on LinkedIn. And other than that, I wish you a good evening. or day, whatever you are. Thank you for listening, for spending 43 minutes with us. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Have a good one.